how if you had a son and he brought home a girl, you would have who had the same background as you with the prostitution and escorting and doing adult content and working in a strip club. For your own son, so long as she's a Christian, you would not have any sort of encouragement or suggestions towards him to perhaps pursue a different partner.
And you're saying she's a Christian, right?
Yes.
No. She's born again.
Okay. She's okay. If your son showed you like, oh, I'm talking to these two girls, it's very early on, and he had one girl that had your background, Christian, and another girl who was also Christian but didn't have your background, and perhaps let's use the extreme, she's an actual virgin, would you have a preference there?
Of course, I would always encourage my kids to be with a Christian because They're both
Christian.
Okay. There's not a preference.
You wouldn't have any?
No.
So what if this woman had adult videos of herself online, and whether she's Christian or not, you know that those videos could perhaps have some negative ramifications on your son's future children. Maybe he's a career man, he's a businessman. Being in a relationship or married to such a woman could have negative impacts on his career. Let's say perhaps he's in politics, for example, or he's just a businessman. Even then?
If you don't mind, is that a fact that does affect politicians if their wife has things like that, like lewd content on the internet?
Yes, the partner that if you're partnered with somebody whose reputation is in disrepute, if you choose to marry and partner with them and have children with them, by extension, yes, your partner's reputation, while it's not your reputation, will have some impact, whether I don't know precisely what the impact might be, but you deny that it would have no impact?
I would say if it did impact what job the husband got, then it wasn't in his will to have that job from God. That's how I look at it. Whatever's meant for you will come. It's simple. That's what I believe.
So if your son has career ambitions but by partnering, thank you, Natalia. Your son has specific career ambitions, but he's presented with the choice of two women, and partnering with the woman. Hey guys, don't talk back there. Partnering with, oh God, I fucking lost my train of thought. Partnering with the woman who has this past.
Yeah.
Gee, I'm sorry, I fucking lost.
It's okay. Take your time.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry, I lost my fucking train of thought, but you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah. So correct me if I'm wrong, but so are you saying that if there's two people and then one has a past and they're Christian and one has a past and they're not, which one would I lean more towards if I would lean more towards somebody? Yeah. I mean, it's just, I really don't think in that way, and I know the answer, you would have on that. I just kind of sense that, like, obviously you think, the less trauma someone has, the less that they've done, explicitly sexually with men, that would be a better option. And I see how you would think that. And I will admit there is less trauma with that girl, for sure. Okay. Yeah, I get that. I still wouldn't be biased and say, well, since that girl's a Christian too, just because she hasn't had a past like me, you should pick her. I wouldn't say that. I genuinely wouldn't. I would encourage anything. I'd be like, you know what? Like, you're your own person. I'm your mother. I've taught you the best I can. May the Holy Spirit lead you. He can make his own decision.
May the Holy Spirit lead you.
Yeah.
Your job as a mother is to mother your daughter, right?
I just said I've taught him all that he could know. He's 18 now. He can make his own decisions. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, they can make their own decisions, but you're the guide stone, yeah? So your children are going to call you for advice, even past the age of 18. They're going to call for guidance. They're going to call for things like this.
Right.
So if your daughter calls for guidance and says, listen, Mom, there's two really handsome guys, and they're both really nice to me, and they're great. One has a Christian background, was raised by a Christian family. The other one comes from a broken home and is a secularist. Which one would you advise that she go with?
I mean, I think any human wants someone who's not as traumatic. I mean, so obviously someone would be like, I want someone who treats me well, who's stable. All of us want that. It's not just a man, it's not just a woman. All of us want that deep down. And so, we can't cast any judgment on anybody. And so it's just, it all boils down to that.
Why can't you cast any judgment on anybody?
Because it says only God can judge. We can't judge.
Okay, let's remove...
Should we get rid of judges in courtrooms?
Can we move on?
Honestly, I want to know the answer. Should we get rid of judges in courtrooms? Are they doing Satan's work?
They really don't do much. It's like
well, wait, but they're judging people. Only God can judge.
Are you judged by your peers?
Judges, that's different. That's with crime. This is relationships. This is free will
they're judging.
Relationships. It's different. To me, that's a different category because when you're in the courtroom, hey, you killed somebody, you did this. So it's
that makes no sense. That's absurd. They're still making judgment values. So are they doing the work of the devil?
Just because they're a judge?
Would you?
Yeah, because they're judging.
No.
Mike Davis well then why can't you judge? I don't understand. Why can't you use judgment? That makes no sense.
$100,000 plus a year, 52 weeks a year, minus 33% taxes is $67,000. Far more than $1,000 a week. No way around it. Basic math even an $1 like me can do. Andrew, send me that $1,000.
I'm going to come back on and bring
that wasn't what it was.
paychecks.
That wasn't what the agreement was for. But yes, I came up with something very similar, just based on 60 hours. But at 100K, that actually, again, that was kind of the next place I was going. I didn't actually understand the math. So that's all. I wasn't even trying to be mean. I just didn't understand the math.
Here, to bring it back. Okay. So what if you found out your son brings back two women, both Christian, one of them has her past, one of them doesn't. She had the one who has her past has an incurable STD. Would you make a judgment and suggest to your son, well, despite her being a repented Christian woman, maybe don't pick the one who has HIV? Would that be a judgment?
It's not a judgment. That is a preference. But also, this raises a question. Do you think that someone with HIV can't have a healthy relationship? Do you think they can't have love after HIV?
So would you advise your son to date a woman who has HIV?
I mean, I wouldn't encourage it. No, of course not.
So
why is everybody leaving the church, Andrew? Why is everybody fleeing from Protestantism? You don't want your kid to date somebody with HIV. Just say it. It's okay to say that. I don't want my child to date somebody with HIV. Instead of making Christians look insane and stupid, how about just saying the answer, which is obvious? You don't want your kid to date somebody with HIV.
I just said that, but I would love it if you could please stop with the insults.
Okay.
I'm not insulting you.
I've been respectful towards you, so I deserve that back. Thank you.
What did I say that was an insult?
You keep saying stupid. It's not very nice.
I didn't call you stupid. Not even
say what we're saying is stupid.
What you said is stupid. That doesn't mean you're stupid. I'm a smart guy who says stupid things sometimes. It doesn't mean I'm stupid. Now back to this. I'm just going to reiterate. Obviously and clearly, can't you just give a single, simple, direct answer? Yes, you would prefer that your kids married Christians, and yes, you would prefer that they didn't have HIV, and yes, you make judgment calls all the time, and that's okay.
You're trying to put words in my mouth. I said, yes, of course I don't prefer my kid to marry someone with HIV. Of course I don't prefer that. I just gave you a clear answer on that.
So is somebody who's...
But that's a judgment.
It's not a judgment. It's a decision.
This is it's like almost semantics a little bit now, but it's...
Well, hang on. Semantics are important.
Oh,
when
yeah,
you're talking about something like judgment.
I know.
Is that a judgment?
It's not a judgment. It's a decision.
It's not a judgment.
But then, so why is that not a judgment to advise your son, hey, maybe don't date somebody who has HIV versus maybe don't date somebody who was previously involved in prostitution and escorting and adult pornographic content? Why is one a judgment and the other not?
Because it's in the sentence that you said maybe, you're just making a decision based on your preference.
Okay.
It's not
I
a
don't even know
judgment.
how
A
to-
judgment would be saying
I can't. I
all
don't
people
think
with
I can
STDs
reason
are
with
undateable.
this. All right.